Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at comprehension, particularly the sisters taken from the January 2017 paper. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video. The sisters. Instructions. Read the following passage carefully and then answer items 31 to 38 on the basis of what is stated or implied. Over the years, Marta had sent many warm and friendly messages to Elena, inviting her to visit Elora and assuring her that she'd always be welcome. But her prodigal sister never replied. From time to time, however, traders brought news that Elena's marriage to Ayako had been blessed with 2 sets of twins, that Ayako had succeeded his father as ruler of the Kingdom of Horses, and that their marriage was a stormy one. For a long time, there was no further news until one day, a traveler told Queen Marta that Ayako had been thrown by a wild horse and had broken his back, that Elena had lost her beauty and her mind, and, after shouting night and day that the Kingdom of Horses was an accursed one, she had escaped from keepers. They searched high and low for her, but she had vanished without a trace, the traveler said, shaking his head sadly. The queen immediately summoned Leia and ordered her to send search parties to all of the countries bordering the Kingdom of Wild Horses. Go to the ends of the earth if you have to, but bring my sister back to Elora. Whoever finds her will be amply rewarded, Queen Marta said to the trackers, traders, and interpreters whom Leia had recruited. But after years of futile searching, the search parties returned one by one and reported that they had found no trace of Elena. "It's as if your sister has vanished from the face of the earth," Leia said. "I hear you," Queen Marta said, "and yet I feel in my bones that she's still alive." Leia had led one of the search parties, and when she returned, her hair was streaked with gray, and age had mapped on her rough-hewn face with lines as delicate as spider webs. The first time that Leia stepped into the audience room to report about her travels to distant places in search of Elena, she was both surprised and pleased to see how Queen Marta had aged. When their eyes made four, the smiling Leia said to herself, "It's as if her face had beaten very gently against the years," for she could see quite clearly how time had changed what once was an ugly countenance into a beautiful one. When a shaft of sunlight touched the cloud of white hair on the queen's head, it became luminous, and a welcoming smile lighting up her dark face lifted Leia's spirits and made her heart sing. And somehow all the hardships she had endured traveling across parched savannas, through densely wooded valleys, over mountains, and down turbulent rivers were forgotten. This narrative tells of a story about 2 sisters, Marta, the queen of Elora, and Elena, who was living in a troubled marriage to Ayako in the Kingdom of Horses. The author describes Elena as the prodigal sister, which suggests that she had left her family in order to do something that the family disapproved of. A prodigal person would return home because he or she is sorry for what he or she has done. However, Elena is lost, and her sister Martha sent search parties for her, but after years of searching, their efforts proved futile. Age showed both on Martha and Leia, as depicted in the author's description of their hair and faces. It was a long and hard journey for Leia, but seeing how beautiful Martha's countenance had become, all her troubles were forgotten. Now let's answer the questions. Question 31. The style of writing in this extract can best be described as A. Narrative, C. Descriptive, D. Argumentative. A factual extract would be based on things that can be proven true. A narrative tells a story. A descriptive piece makes vivid a place, an object, a character, or a group, while argumentative writing is where you present reasoning based on a particular topic raised. So, sisters would be a narrative. Question 32. What do the words "their marriage was a stormy one," lines 4 to 5 imply? A. They married on a stormy day. B. There were happy times in the marriage. C. The couple was not sure of the marriage. Or D. The marriage was filled with disagreements. A is definitely not the answer because they did not get married on a stormy day. Stormy one is metaphoric and it should not be taken literally. Having storms in a marriage simply means that you are having problems. So you can have a financial storm, an emotional storm. You can have a physical storm where one partner is abusing the other one. So the marriage between Ayako and Elena was not a happy one because there were so many problems. The author did not say that the couple was not sure of the marriage. However, the marriage was filled with disagreements. The author stated that Elena kept shouting night and day that the kingdom of wild horses was an accursed one. And remember that Ayako, her husband, was the ruler of that kingdom. So imagine Elena cursing day and night that her husband's kingdom was accursed. Based on this, the answer would be D. Question 33. The instruction, "Go to the ends of the earth," line 12, implies that they should search A. Every accessible land, B. The kingdom of wild horses, C. Over the mountains and down rivers, D. Through densely wooded valleys. Go to the ends of the earth means that they should search everywhere. Do not leave one stone unturned. This means that your answer would be A. Every accessible land. Question 34. The literary device used in the phrase "as delicate as spiderwebs," line 19, is a pun, B. simile, C. metaphor, or D. hyperbole. Based on the narrative, two things are being compared. The wrinkles are being compared to spiderwebs. We all know, or we should all know, that when we use "as" or "like" to compare two things, it is a simile. So the fine wrinkles on the woman's face is being compared to spider webs. Think about how that looks. Question 35. The writer implies that Leia was A. the leader of the Queen's army, B. a household servant, C. Martha's sister, or D, a traveler? To answer this question, you have to take a look at how Queen Martha spoke to Leia. So the writer stated that the queen summoned Leia and ordered her to send search parties to all the countries. To summon someone means that you order him or her to be present, and using context clues, we can infer that Leia was a leader. So you would order a leader in an army to carry out a mission, and the mission was to find Elena. The writer also stated that Leia had led one of the search parties. This therefore means that Leia was the leader of the Queen's army because she was the one who did all the recruiting. Question 36. Which of the following is an example of contrast? Is it A, she had lost both her beauty and her mind? B, she had vanished without a trace? C, her hair was streaked with gray? Or D, lighten up her dark face? What exactly is a contrast? Simply put, a contrast shows difference. So is it day or night, black or white, rainy or sunny? It is the state of being strikingly different. So based on all these answer options, the striking difference is D, lighten up her dark face. Question 37. The cloud of white hair, line 24, is an example of A, litotes, B, metaphor, C, oxymoron, or D, personification. Sometimes it is a challenge to identify the literary devices, especially if they are not ones that you are familiar with. For example, litotes may not be one that you have seen before. Metaphor, oxymoron, and personification are literary devices that you are familiar with, you know them. But litotes is a completely different one. A litotes is a deliberate understatement done by denying what something is not. Remember that I had said previously that storms are synonymous with problems. It's the same thing. And it is a metaphorical statement to say that you have storms in a marriage. So what does cloud of white hair means? Does it mean that you literally have clouds on your head? No, it's a metaphorical statement and it means that your hair is white, just as the clouds in the sky. And we are at the final question. Question 38. The concluding sentence of the extract suggests that A, they had forgotten all about Elena, B, they had given up the search for Elena, C, Leia would be willing to continue the search, or D, the problems which Leia had encountered in the search were forgotten. The last sentence of the extract says, and somehow all the hardships she had endured, traveling across parched savannas, through densely wooded valleys, over mountains, and down turbulent rivers, were forgotten. To answer this question correctly, you have to pay attention to the subject of the sentence, which is the hardships that she had encountered. What were the hardships? She endured traveling across parched savannas, through densely wooded valleys, over mountains, down turbulent rivers. So these are all the things that she had to go through. The question is asking, what does the concluding sentence of the extract suggest? It suggests that the problems or the hardships that Leia had encountered were forgotten. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment down below, and subscribe. I do hope that this video cleared up any misunderstandings that you might have had about this comprehension piece. Until next time, take care.